All right, so good afternoon and welcome to the 2025 Tarrant County Master Gardener Intern Orientation Program. My name is Craig Holland and I'm one of the coordinators for the 2025 class. We have two housekeeping items I'd like to point out at this point. We are recording this meeting for use for folks that missed the meeting or really want to go back and review the presentation later. And that link will be provided to everyone that signed up for the class after the end of this meeting within a day or so. I would ask that you would please mute yourself and turn off your video if you haven't already, so that we can make sure we get focus on the charts and the presentation. And also, I would ask that you please hold all your questions to the end. We've got a lot of information to cover, and we're going to get through it within hopefully an hour or so. And so there'll be some time at the end of the meeting to go through Q&A. If you didn't hear an answer to your question, then we'll happily try and answer all your questions at the very end. Okay. So let's talk about what our agenda is for today. We're going to do a quick welcome, as I just completed, and introductions, a few of the people who are on the line with me today. We're going to do a brief history of the program and specifically also with respect to Tarrant County. We'll go through details of the program, the requirements that are required, the requirements that are necessary to be met to achieve certification as a Tarrant County Master Gardener.
Do you need me to call Isidore?
Please mute your mics. Thank you. Also, we will run through a couple of sample classes so that you can see the types of topics that we're going to talk about. We will cover the cost of the class. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got I believe ample time at the end to take care of any kind of questions that you might have after we get through with the presentation. So moving to introductions, first, our county extension agent. We work with the home horticultural, easy for me to say, agent within AgriLife Extension's office. That position is currently open. However, Laura Miller, who is the commercial horticulture agent, will be part of our technical support as we move forward. I would also like to briefly introduce now Courtney Davis. Courtney is the director of Texas A&M AgriLife Extension for Tarrant County, and I'll let her speak just for a second to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Like Craig stated, I'm Courtney Davis. I am the County Extension Director here in Tarrant County and oversee the AgriLife Extension program here locally. Our office is comprised of 24 individuals that all support various aspects of the AgriLife Extension work here in Tarrant County. That's ag and natural resources, horticulture, the 4-H and youth development program, family and community health. We do a lot of health and nutrition education. We have 2 SNAP Ed programs that are run through our office. But a large part of the work that we do to serve the community is done in partnership with a lot of volunteers. And the Master Gardener program is our largest volunteer group here in Tarrant County. So I know that Craig and Mindy will talk more specifically about the requirements of the program, but I just really just wanted to hop on board and just welcome you all and thank you for your interest in the Master Gardener program. We're excited to have the leadership team that we have. Craig did mention that the home horticulture position is currently vacant. Our horticulture agent moved to a different part of the state. And so we are actively seeking a horticulture agent to serve as the advisor for this group, but also to provide educational programs across the county. But we are fortunate enough here in Tarrant County to have 2 horticulture positions, the other position being Laura Miller, who serves as our commercial horticulture agent and works with a lot of our green industry individuals. So still a lot of great subject matter experts. You're going to meet a lot of great people through the process. and I'm excited to have you guys on board. So thanks so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Courtney. Also, I'd like to introduce our current, or will be our 2025 president of the association. That's Sherry Mills. Sherry, if you want to turn on your camera and wave to the crowd and say hello.
Good morning. Yes, I will be I am the incoming president. So I will be the president for 2025. So if you do decide to join the Master Gardeners, you will probably see me at the meetings.
Wonderful. Thank you. As I mentioned, I'm one of the intern coordinators, and Mindy Wittenberg is also the other co-coordinator with me. Mindy, if you want to wave and say hello.
Here I am. So I'm looking forward to working with Craig again this year, and Courtney and Sherry for this upcoming intern class.
Thanks, Mindy. Also, we have intern advisors. Now, intern advisors are those people that are the day-to-day interface between the leadership committee and the actual interns. We have 5 scheduled for this year, and I'm going to introduce each one of them and ask them to turn on their cameras and say hello and wave to everybody. Michelle Burrows.
Well, did I show up? No? Okay. Hello, I'm Michelle.
Then there's Jessica Daisy.
See, there we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Jess or Jessica, either one.
Rick Heim.
Hi, everyone.
Laura Mummy.
Hello, welcome aboard.
And Linda Scott.
And actually, it's Karen Scott, and there are 2 Karen Scotts. Okay, Craig, there are 2 Karen Scotts in the master in the AgriLife. The real Karen Scott is the one that's in downtown Fort Worth. I'm a master gardener, so nice to meet you all.
Oh, boy, Karen, I apologize. Boy, I missed that one. Okay, sorry about that. And also, Teresa Landfield is our intern timekeeper. Our timekeeper is important because she will be monitoring all of the hours that are completed during the year on the path towards reaching certification. So, Teresa, you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone.
Thank you. Now I'm going to turn it over and let Mindy talk to you for a few minutes.
Hey, everybody. I just want to give you a brief history of the Tarrant County Master Gardeners and the Texas Master Gardeners Association. So in Texas, the program began in 1979, but the Tarrant County program got its start in 1987 with 49 chapter members. And I think some of those folks may still be around. There was considerable growth in the 1990s, and currently there are 105 counties participating with over 7,600 members statewide. The Tarrant County and all Texas Master Gardeners are part of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. As Courtney and Craig mentioned, we have a home horticultural agent for the Master Gardeners that provides guidance, technical support, and training. And as mentioned before, that position is currently open, but Laura Miller is going to offer support until that position is filled. The Tarrant County Master Gardener supports 24 garden projects. 5 of those are in the Fort Worth Botanic Garden. We have 2 community gardens, a demonstration garden, 5 school project gardens, a traveling puppet show. We have a library garden and several public property landscapes. There are over 300 members from all walks of life committed to providing gardening knowledge, practices, as well as promoting water conservation techniques. In 2023, the Tarrant County Master Gardeners volunteered over 36,000 hours and completed over 44,000 continuing education units. And we are on track to exceed those numbers this year. So our focus is on education and volunteerism. You see pictured before you several of our current projects. This is just the tip of the iceberg. To your far left, you see a couple of gals working in a bog, a fish pond. In the middle there is a picture of our demonstration garden out at 1801 Circle Drive. At the top there, you see someone giving a demonstration of a garden art project. Next to her, moving toward the right, you see a pruning demonstration. Far right, there's our greenhouse out at 1801. Below that is a group of interns at the compost outpost at Fort Worth Botanical Garden. And just moving down clockwise, there's an herb bed that's in one of our demonstration gardens, and still part of that project. And another picture of a memorial garden that an intern project completed at 1801 down there at 7 o'clock. So you see that there's just a variety of things that we work on. Almost everything that you're interested in can be included as a master gardener. It's not just pulling weeds and planting flowers. There's a lot of things that you'll be able to get involved in. But we will definitely get our hands dirty during the year. This is a map of all of the current Master Gardener, Tarrant County Master Gardener projects. If you'll look at this map, Tarrant County is a large county, and there's a lot of different opportunities for you to jump into. So if you'll kind of look at this map and compare that to where you live, there's probably something that's going to be fairly close to where you live. We will we'll be attending. We'll be visiting some of these gardens, and you'll just have lots of different opportunities to get involved with one of these gardens. All right.
All right, so let's get down to the nut and bolts of what the program requirements are for the Master Gardener Association. There are basically two components to it. The first is the classroom and demonstration field trip component. It's approximately 72 hours worth of classes. They will be held every Tuesday and every Thursday starting January 28th and complete on April 17th. Those classes will be all the classes will be in-person classes, unless something goes bump in the night like a pandemic. But hopefully that won't happen again, but we will have those classes at numerous locations that we're going to talk about in a few moments. But it turns into about 72 hours worth of education. And we expect that to be attended each and every class by all the interns. The volunteering part is the 72 certified hours during the intern year. And as you can see there, they're broken out, and I'll step through each one of those things. There is 28 hours of support to the extension office, in Courtney's office there at 200 Taylor Street in downtown Fort Worth. And that includes support to the telephone bank. You may or may not know that you can call in and ask a question of a Master Gardener within Tarrant County Master Gardener Association, and they can provide you a research-based answer for hopefully your questions. There is 12 hours required to support an intern project. That project will be completed in total by just the intern class, and its location will be determined by the class based upon inputs from the different projects we have across the county. There's 12 hours of volunteer time required at the community and demonstration garden. That demonstration garden, which you may have noticed on the other previous chart, is basically across the street from Tarrant County South, Tarrant County College South at Campus Drive and 820. And you'll have 12 hours of volunteer time to complete there. You'll also be required to complete 4 hours of work at one of the school projects that we support. You will also have 4 hours of support to an environmental project. And environmental projects are things like a Molly Holler nature area in southwest Arlington, or the compost outpost at the Fort Worth Botanical Gardens, or something along those lines, where you're working with the environment, doing composting, similar type of activities. You have also 12 hours of support to other projects. These are projects that are recognized as Master Gardener projects, and this gives you the opportunity to go and visit each one of, or some of the projects within the county, and maybe find your place. As Michelle has quoted before, it's opportunity maybe to find your tribe, the people that you like to work with on those projects, and that gives you an opportunity to go examine and see what the activities are and decide where you're most comfortable. You will attend a minimum of 3 of the monthly meetings. Our monthly meetings are the first Thursday of every month, and 9 of the 12 meetings over the year will have continuing education activities associated with them. So you will have an education component as well as a business meeting component. We also have a vendor sale and also a holiday party at the end of the year. And also you are required to complete a background check. Now, the initial dues are $350 for the year, and that covers all of the class and all of the materials associated with the class. But the background check is separate. It costs $13, and it does also require additional training, approximately 3 to 4 hours of training to complete the background training component and background check. And that must be completed before you can start volunteering with children specifically. But the background check is done by a agency outside of AgriLife, but it is a part of the activities. And as I said, it does require completion before you can reach your start into all your volunteer activities.
So our classes are a combination of in-class and hands-on demonstration classes. A lot of those classes will be held at 200 Taylor Street, downtown Fort Worth. Some are out at our demo garden area where we have a classroom at 1801 Circle Drive. And then there are field trips. So it's just a combination of lecture type instruction, with some being demonstration, hands-on practice work, and then we actually get out of the classroom and take some interesting field trips that are educational. Some examples of the classes are soil and soil fertility, soil improvement, native plants, herbs, landscaping, plant propagation. We do a hands-on in that plant propagation class. It's always a lot of fun, and we learn about plant diseases. Our classes are all held by AgriLife agents or Texas A&M professors. We have a lot of local specialists that bring their expertise to the classroom as well. So there's just a nice variety of personalities that come to the classroom and and it's just a wealth of knowledge that they have to offer. As Craig said, each year the groups will do an intern project at a location be determined. We'll have somebody, we have lots of things to choose from, so it's really hard to explain here how that will materialize. It could be at a project program. It could be at our demo garden. It could be at even an outside location. Those things will be determined as the class gets started and those opportunities are presented. We also have a Mod Squad class available, and actually there's a class going on currently. The Mod Squad classes are a little bit different than our daytime classes. Our daytime classes are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and are completed within a year. Our modified class actually meet on Saturdays, and it's for those folks that are not available to come on a Tuesday, Thursday, and need that Saturday class. But because it is a modified class, so those classes go on for 2 years. The classroom part goes on in the first year, and then you have that second year to complete all of the program requirements. We are not offering a Mod Squad for the 2025 year because we have a class going on currently. So if that sounds like something that you need or something that you're interested in, as we offer applications for this year's class, that will not apply to you. You'll need to contact the office and let them know that you are interested in the 2026 modified Mod Squad class. And for those who are interested in the Tuesday, Thursday class that starts in January, those applications will be available as soon as the meeting is over today. In fact, I'm going to put that link in the chat box immediately. Craig?
Thank you, Mindy. All right, so how do you get an application? There's 3 different ways that I would suggest to you. One, at the completion of this meeting or in the near future, you would send a request to Karen Scott, not Lynn Scott, Karen Scott, got that one right, at karenscott@ag.tamu.edu, and she will respond to you with the link to do the application. There is the link itself. I wouldn't challenge anybody to try and copy that down, but you could take a picture of it and maybe try and replicate it. However, I would highly recommend maybe you take a picture of the QR code there to the side. That is a direct link to the application itself, and you can fill it out online. And once you hit submit, it goes back to Ms. Scott for us to gather all those applications together. Worst case, you can always reach out to Ms. Scott if you need the application link again. As Mindy said, we're going to post that link in the chat a couple of times before we complete, so you guys will have an opportunity to capture that link and you can use it when you have the opportunity to complete it. It's very important that the applications are all delivered by December 20th of 2024. We want to get those in before the holiday break when people tend to focus on maybe some other things. And we will go through all those applications and we will start scheduling interviews on January 7th through the 9th. And just to talk a little bit about the interviews, they are in-person interviews at 200 Taylor Street, downtown Fort Worth. It will be a panel interview and you will be talking to more than likely myself and Mindy, and I believe Sherry's going to support as well as some AgriLife Extension folks. Between the 9th and the 28th, we will select a class, identify those who have been selected to begin the classes on January 28th of 2025. Again, this class is Tuesday and Thursday. The classes run from the 28th to April 17th. and the classes are scheduled from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on those Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you want additional information, there is our website, tarrantmg.org. If you just have general information about, or general questions about Aggie horticulture, there is a link there. There's a plethora of information there about how to grow tomatoes and how do you solve turf issues and other things if you're just looking for questions and potential answers for them. But that is the link for learning about AgriLife Extension and their activities. And that's the end of our presentation. I fully expect we have some questions. So I'm going to ask if you would to either put questions in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, and we will try and get those questions answered in as expedient a manner as we possibly can.
This is Teresa. I wanted to add that when classes are downtown, parking is provided. So you won't have to scramble to find parking places.
If we have a vacation planned already, that would conflict with the class schedule, is there any way to make those up?
We prefer if you know you're going to have if you're going to have to miss very many classes, we ask you to wait and maybe to the next class. We prefer that our students not miss more than 2 classes per session, but we can work with someone. Yes, there are ways to make them up, but we prefer that everybody can make every class. It gets complicated if to
Sure.
make those classes up.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know when the next one would be? I have the same problem. I have a scheduled trip from January the 28th to February the 9th, so I would miss 6. I think I've counted that I would miss 6 classes. Man, I guess, is there one in the spring? Are you going to be starting a new one in the spring?
We hold 1 class per year,
Oh,
and it will start, at the beginning of next year.
okay, shoot. And so there's just no way to work around that. That sounds like way too many to miss, and especially them being the very first 6 meetings.
That's quite a lot. Yes, ma'am,
Yeah.
that is quite a lot. We ask that the students not miss more than 2 classes per session.
Okay. Thank you for your frank answer. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Ms. Jackson.
Okay. I'm so sorry. This is all really new to me. The technology anyway. So I have started taking classes for the Native Plant Society of Texas. Does any of those hours that I use there, like within, I completed the first level, does that go to any of the continuing education? Can I use those hours for something?
No, ma'am.
That's a great question.
That is a very good question, but our activities are separate from what the Native Plant Society's classes are. Our certification is different than theirs.
Well, yes, sir. I understood that. I just didn't know if, like, for our continuing education part of it, something, I didn't know if we could go outside the realm of the Master Gardener thing to get those hours.
The hours that you accrue under the Master Gardener thing are associated with the projects and the activities that we provide.
Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Kelly?
Craig, do you mind if I say something?
Absolutely, Sherry, go ahead.
Okay, so what I wanted to just to say to everyone is our focus with Master Gardeners is education. Obviously, you would be getting an education going through the intern program, but it's our goal to educate the public once we have become certified and we're getting out and we're working with them. So one of the questions I noticed in chat was, what is the ongoing involvement and education once you've completed all of the requirements? So once you've completed your requirements as an intern, you will become certified. Then at that point, each year you will have to recertify. So there you have to complete a certain number of volunteer hours and attend the meetings. You also pay your dues every year, and you every 3 years you have a background check run. So each year you do have to recertify to keep up your certification. But it is the main focus of Tarrant County Master Gardeners, any Master Gardener program, is to educate. So we have continuing education classes for our members. So we're always being educated ourselves. There's always classes you can attend. But then our goal is to get out and to educate the public. So I just wanted to point that out to everyone.
Okay, so I'm
I was wondering if there's a calendar you guys could provide, like up front, just so we can compare our schedule to make sure it fits before signing up.
Well,
It's going to be every Tuesday and Thursday from January 28th to April 17th. So that is the calendar.
Okay. And what time?
From 9 till 4 p.m.
What time's the start time again?
9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And if there is inclement weather, we follow, Courtney helped me with this, but I believe we follow the Fort Worth ISD scheduling as far as if inclement weather occurs.
I believe that's correct, yes.
I see here in the chat, Amir, you said you have to be at work at 1 o'clock on those days. So it could be that mod squad that starts next year will be a good fit for you. I'm not sure if they're going to start that class in January or if it will be February or March. That will be up to the horticulture agent and the co-coordinators of that class. If you have interest in that, please email or call the AgriLife office and let them know that you are interested in that class, and they can put you on a list. Just like you were on the list for this Zoom meeting, we will have another Zoom meeting just like this next year, but it will include information for the mod squad.
Yeah, I work for the city drive, the city bus, so 9 to 4, I would have to leave every day if I could at 1 to be to work on time. So that's the only thing that held me up with being able to have those 2 days. So
that modular class may be a better fit for you, Amir.
And who do I contact again?
Just like you contacted the office to get on the list for this Zoom meeting, that we'll do the same thing next year. We'll have an informational meeting, but we'll also offer the mod squad next year.
Mindy, I'll go ahead and drop that contact information in the chat in case anybody wants to go ahead and do that. And we'll start a list at the office.
Thank you, Courtney.
So y'all are having a class in 2025 for the module.
Okay, but that class will start in 2026, not 2025.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Thanks, Amir.
Okay, I'm looking through the chat. We answered the question about when do the classes meet. The classes during the weekend would be the Mod Squad class. It starts in 26, as Mindy just mentioned. It would not be in 25. Classes go from 9 to 4. The classes are expected to all be in person, face to face, unless something like a pandemic happens again. The crazy thing about my year was 2020 is the pandemic happened halfway through the year, and we transitioned from face to face to remote learning in Zoom. If you don't think we didn't learn about Zoom overnight, you'd be amazed at how quickly a lot of us got a lot of technology poured down our throat. Um,
Craig,
yes,
this
ma'am.
is Michelle. I'd like to talk just a little bit to Virginia about her question about ongoing involvement in education once you've completed all the requirements. I'll tell you just a little bit about my journey. I was a intern in 2022. Now, your first year is really busy with classes and your volunteer and then your project. And your project is where you really get to know everyone in your class. But the year after that, you have a lot of time freed up. I ended up doing work out at BRIT, which is the Research Institute, Botanical Research Institute attached to the Fort Worth Botanic Garden. The educational opportunities, we do have some advanced programs. This past year, I did tree care, and that was really a lot of fun. It's like a 3-day program, and so 3 days of classes, and then you do some certification work for that, meaning like I gave a tree presentation out at the Home and Garden Show and worked their information booth. So there are 4 or 5 programs that we have that are very much advanced training. I think, Craig, didn't you do, what was the one you did?
Yes, my advanced training is in Texas Superstars, which is a program that AgriLife and A&M started to develop plants that would be close to foolproof across the state. That as we have more and more people move in the state and want to learn about how to grow plants in the diverse environments that we have, it gives you a good list of plants to use. There you go.
Yeah. And I will say of my experience out of my 2022 class, there are a group of us that still go out and do like, little projects here and there together. So, you end up making a lot of friends. Like Craig said, I kind of found my tribe members out there. So that's the education, and your volunteer opportunities are just almost endless. If you like to be involved with kids, I'm an intern advisor, as you said, and several of my interns have gone on to work in the schools this year because they have a 10-week program that with the schools where they're helping make food garden beds and through the growing and harvesting process. So there's an opportunity to work with, kids there. We also have a project that may be starting at a senior center down in South Arlington. So I hope that answers the question you had, Virginia, about what other kind of volunteer work, and it's kind of like whatever your niche is, you can find it.
Thank you. That was very helpful. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
To answer the question about the size of the class, we are targeting between 20 to 25 people in the class this year. As I said, it is a panel interview. It's, as Michelle said in the chat, it's not scary. There's just 3 or 4 people in the room. They're going to ask you some questions about your gardening experience and if you're comfortable traveling in Tarrant County and things like that. But we want to make sure we have folks who are engaged and who want to support the mission of providing education across the county from a gardening perspective. The monthly meetings are generally start at 9:30 and finish by about 11:30. The monthly meetings, as a part of the program, if you are selected, you will be going to those first three meetings in January, February, March, and April. And then there'll be the monthly meetings that happen every Thursday after that. We don't expect you to be in two places at once. We're going to take you to those meetings so that you see where we all gather, and you get the opportunity to also to start to meet and connect with other master gardeners within the association.
Yeah. Interns get a special shirt and you wear that to the meeting so everyone knows you're an intern. Just saying.
Is there an alternative program? I'm not super familiar with it, but I do believe that TCC offers some horticultural type of classes. If this isn't your feel your need for a gardening class, I also know that Rick, one of our advisors, also does some time with the Silver Frogs program associated with TCU, and they do some gardening instruction there as well. And those may be alternatives for this program for you. I'm still looking through the chat. So the ongoing commitment after you complete your first year and your 72 hours of volunteerism, the recertification process for each year after that is 36 hours of volunteerism. So it's considerably less, but you get the opportunity to also continue to build your network of gardening friends and associates. Birds of a feather tend to flock together, and you get that opportunity to reconnect and keep going forward in your education for yourself as well as serving the community.
Barbara Wyatt, you said you would be gone January 7th through 9th. If you'll let us know, we might could set up a Zoom meeting if that would work for you, but the interviews will be during those dates, the January 7th through the 9th. We have done that in the past for someone who is out of pocket. So we can work with you on that if that works for you. Just let us know.
Continuing with the chat questions, the $350 fee is for the first year. The dues after the first year are $33 a year. It's just the first year for all the education materials that you're going to receive is the reason for the fee being what it is. But no, $350 is just year one. After that, it's $33 a year. The application link is in the chat. If you will go out there and capture that, or again, use the QR code if that works for you as well. And Mindy just posted it out there again. The favorite part of being part and learning learning through the Master Gardener program, I would say it's a combination of a couple of things. When I started down my path, I recently retired, and my wife looked at me and said, "You will find a hobby, and you will not come home and manage me." So I took that to heart, and I became a Master Gardener. One, to expand my knowledge in gardening. I grew up on a farm, but ran away from the farm as soon as became 18 years old. But I found that gene is deep inside of me, and I continue to like to mess with gardening. I also like to share in the education of others. Um, One of my pet peeves, and my neighbors in the neighborhood will tell you that I fuss at people about doing crepe murder. We don't top crepe myrtles. We let them grow their natural height and the way they're supposed to grow as God created them. And so I walk around and share little bits of information like that to people, but I also have the opportunity to share information about what's the greatest plants to put in your gardens, either native plants or Texas superstars, or maybe a combination of the two, to make your gardening experience as pleasant as it can be for yourself. And hopefully your neighbors will come by and go, "Wow, what's that plant? I'd like to have that. Can you tell me what that is and why you planted it where you did?" It's that continuing education piece that's an informal communication, as well as going to the home and garden shows, as Michelle did, and talking about trees or anything else that fits in the realm of gardening support.
I think my favorite thing is community. I retired in 2020. Master Gardener, becoming a Master Gardener was something that was on my bucket list, I think, for probably 15, 20 years. I had friends in West Texas who were Master Gardeners. So it was something that I planned to do once I retired. And of course, I retired in 2020 in the throes of the pandemic. And the isolation that was such a big part of the pandemic. So when I had the opportunity to join the Master Gardeners, it was a mental relief for me to know that I was going to be able to get out and be connected with people again. And as Craig said, I have really found my tribe. And I have enjoyed working with interns this last couple of years, and I think I've just kind of found my niche.
There is not a focus to answer Jacqueline's question. I would not say there is a focus specifically on organic or non-organic. AgriLife Extension promotes there are many ways to be successful in your gardening approach. And so it's not only organic or regenerative, it is, what works best for you and in the environment that you are in. There are obviously lessons from an organic perspective that can be applied, but there are other things that people have learned and used within the community for years and years. When we finish the recording and we capture that, the link will be provided to everyone so that you can go out on a private YouTube channel and view this discussion again. I'm not really planning on providing the charts, but you can view that at your leisure whenever you'd like. Do we have any other questions?
Again, the applications are due by the 20th of December. We'll be watching for those. We'll receive those. So be sure and meet that deadline. Oh, somebody's already submitted their application. Very good. Way to go. You get a gold star.
Yeah. Ellen's on top of it. There you go, Ellen.
I'm very encouraged by all the interest in the program.
Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, then I'm going to say let's draw this meeting to a close.